The NFL released schedules, the Giants released new uniforms, and also the Giants are on Hard Knocks. We got a lot to talk about. Let's go. What is going on, guys? What is going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another video. And man, I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support you guys have shown me on that Tyrone Tracy video. He even saw it himself. Well, he reposted the tweet. I don't know if he watched the video, but man, you guys absolutely loved it. You guys gave some great feedback, and it motivates me to make more videos like that. So more content like that coming in the near future. If you guys haven't checked it out already, it's a little short documentary on Tyrone Tracy. If you guys want to check it out, it'll be in the card up above. And welcome to all the new subscribers as well. So let's get on to the video. First and foremost, the Giants are on Hard Knocks. That is right. We got a promo about it a couple of days ago, and you know, at first everyone thought it was, you know, your typical Hard Knocks, which now they're implementing 3 different types of versions. The Giants will be the first one to kick off this new type of Hard Knocks, and it is pretty interesting. Now, it is not training camp with the New York Giants, and it's not in season with the New York Giants. Instead, it is the off season with the New York Giants. That means the cameras were already rolling months before this was even announced. We're talking even going as far back as Saquon Barkley departing, or the Brian Burns trade, and maybe even the Wink Martindale, Brian Dable sort of fiasco. So I'm really intrigued to find out what exactly is going to be on the Hard Knocks. Now, they're promoting it as you're getting full NFL access to what goes on in the offseason and everything that happened with the New York Giants up to this point in the offseason. It's just setting up to be a little bit of a propaganda thing to me. It's really looking like they're trying to control a narrative. I don't know. I don't want to assume yet, but man, it just seems so weird to me that all of this dysfunction happens with the New York Giants, and then all of a sudden, now we're going to get a documentary into the life of the New York Giants during the offseason, and this one in particular. It just seems like they're going to be trying to spin things the way they want to try to kind of calm the seas a little bit, because Twitter has been absolutely rampant against the New York Giants regarding, you know, going as far back as the Wink Martindale situation. So let's see what happens then, but I am excited. So it's going to be 5 episodes, and it's going to be premiering in the month of July and July only, but we will be on this channel recapping every single episode. So sub up, hit that notification bell, and you won't miss a video on it. All right, next, the New York Giants released new uniforms. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Listen, I'm happy that the majority of fans, not even Giants fans, just the majority of NFL fans, do not like this. I don't understand why a lot of these older New York Giants, I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to stoop down to the old Giants fans level, right? The one that come at me and say, you're just a youngin', you don't know anything yet, you're just a little baby. I could just flip it right back on the old ones, but I'm not going to do that. I understand why they could like historical stuff. It just seems to me, and I put a tweet on this a couple of days ago on Twitter, it just seems like to me that the New York Giants fan base is just obsessed with anything historical. Anything that shows some history, more so than most more so than most NFL fans, they just eat it up. They get so captivated by anything historical that they'll trick their minds into saying, "Wow, that is amazing!" Like the New York Giants released a promo, a whole promo that has very good production, right? Very good editing, very good production for a freaking patch. They literally blue-balled us. No pun intended there. And don't get me wrong, the patch is pretty cool. I like that we're celebrating 100 years of the New York Giants. People are coming at me, trying to straw man me and say that, well, you just don't like that we're celebrating the New York Giants. You don't like that we're celebrating history. I don't mind us celebrating history. It's about what you pull from history. Some things deserve to be left forgotten, right? I put a whole TikTok on this, and a lot of people were in agreement with me, where I get it. I get bringing back old uniforms and kind of modernizing them to make them look even better. Look at the legacy uniforms. I love the legacy uniforms. In fact, I really wanted them to be the home jerseys for the New York Giants. I wanted them to be the official home jerseys for the Giants. So don't come at me saying I just don't like anything historical and I'm just a young one. I don't know any better. That's just a terrible argument. Look at these things. Just look at them. It looks like we're all about to attend grandma's ugly sweater contest and we've got the khakis to match. I mean, it just looks like you're going to a formal Christmas party at a family get-together. That's just what it looks like. There's even Christmas sweaters that I've looked on Google that looks just like it.
Lord, if I could just ask to be blessed with one little thing. Just one tiny thing, Lord. Jaeger Black Ice.
I'm just not a fan. And hey, if you like it, that's on you. You do you. I just think you're lying to yourself. To be honest with you, I swear, I think you're lying to yourself. That's like Steelers fans saying they like the Bumblebee uniforms. Nobody likes the Bumblebee uniforms. The only reason why they're still around and the only reason why they're even remotely acceptable is because they're memes, okay? The Bumblebee uniforms are memes at this point. They are so ugly that they're so funny to look at that they keep them around. And I know that we're only wearing them twice a year and that's it. Throw them back in the 20s where they belong and do not bring them back. I'll deal with it for the 2 games. I'll keep my mouth shut. But I'm just tired of people going on here and pretending like that. Listen, there may be actual people who like it. That's fine. I think that's cool. If you legitimately like it, that's cool. I just think there's a lot of people on Twitter. I haven't seen it on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube so far that's made videos hate it. But on Twitter, I don't know if they're just trying to be controversial. They're just trying to be a contrarian. But there's people on Twitter that I swear are just pretending to like it. And just say, oh, these are fired. Bro, stop. Alright, we're done ranting with that. Now we're going to move on to my schedule predictions. I haven't went out and made a video about this yet. I did a live stream on the NFC East Roundtable. If you guys haven't already, we already hit 1,000 subscribers in just 3 episodes. You guys have been absolutely killing it along with the rest of the NFC East fans. If you guys haven't already, join the movement, man. Join the channel. We're doing some great things over there, especially during the season. Things are going to ramp up. We've got some great content creators on there for the NFC East. Go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be going every Thursday. I don't know if we're going to be going on next Thursday because things are kind of slowing down. We might pick it back up towards training camp in the preseason, maybe around July. I have to talk to the ones who run the channel. But everybody, go subscribe. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. Each live is like getting 500 viewers. Like, it's absolutely crazy in there. You guys need to be a part of it. But this past episode, we did our schedule predictions, and I just figured I'll just mash it up with the other news that the Giants had and do my own schedule prediction on this channel. Now, it pains me to say this, but I don't think the Giants are much better of a team than they were last year. Before we get into the predictions, let's look at what this team looks like now compared to last year and what has changed. Now, some of the major improvements I think that the Giants had is Malik Neighbors obviously being that #1 wide receiver, Brian Burns being that clear-cut #1 edge rusher to pair with Kayvon Thibodeau, and also John Runyon Jr. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of John Runyon Jr. I just think he's a big improvement versus what we already had. Now, if you look at the next section, it is slight upgrades and stagnant replacements. Now, what I mean by stagnant replacements is kind of just replacing the player that left, and, well, you know, as far as production goes, and not much after that. Like, it could be a slight improvement, but it just could be the same player, we're just replacing him. So Theo Johnson, although nobody is Darren Waller, he kind of replicates what Darren Waller does as far as athleticism goes at the tight end position. So that is sort of a stagnant replacement. I don't know if Darren Waller is actually going to play or not, but we'll see. And then clear downgrades I have is the cornerback 2 position. We literally did nothing for it. Andrew Phillips, we're still waiting on where he's going to play, but I think he's playing in the slot. I think that's where he said that he's going to be playing in the slot. So I don't know if we're going to have Cordell Flott or Trey Hawkins at cornerback 2, but that's going to be interesting to see. But that is a clear downgrade over Adoree Jackson, who already wasn't that good. And then you have the safety position. Tyler Nubin is a clear downgrade. I don't hate Tyler Nubin. I hate saying this over and over again. I don't hate Tyler Nubin, but you guys don't know what we had in Xavier McKinney and how good he actually was. Tyler Nubin is not him. So right now, it's a downgrade. All right, man. The Giants are coming into this thing as the 6th toughest schedule in the entire NFL. It seems like the Giants have always, where the NFC East more particular, because the NFC East pretty much, they share, strength of schedule because we're kind of playing the same guys. But the Giants, the NFC East in general have always gotten terrible schedules, man. So they're always one of the toughest. I don't know what it is, man. We're just always put up against the most harder divisions in that time period. All right, so let's go on to this one. And let's go one by one. Week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not going to harp on these things too much. I'm not going to do full in-depth recaps or previews of it. But week 1, I really think we can get the win against the Vikings. It will be getting off to a terrible first start if the Giants cannot pull off a win against Sam Darnold. I don't think the Vikings are to the point where they're an elite team without Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson this, Justin Jefferson that. Even with Jordan Addison, we may have a tough time with corners guarding up against these guys, but I just don't trust Sam Darnold to get that win. I wouldn't trust Sam Darnold if I'm a Vikings fan to get the win. Going to Washington, all right? This one is a little bit of a head scratcher for me because, as I said on the NFC East Roundtable, the Commanders are like a whole different team this year. New coach, new owner, new defense, new offensive, coordinator, new offense, and also a new quarterback, right? Jaden Daniels. Here's the thing. I gave them the win. I gave Washington the win in that video. I'm not going to do it in this video. I'm going to change it because if Jaden Daniels comes out the gate just swinging and just gets the win against the Giants in the second week starting, that would be pretty crazy to see, just knowing how much Washington has been such an underdog against the New York Giants and constantly being stomped by us no matter what the teams look like. It would be really crazy if Jaden Daniels actually gets the win against the Giants and defeats them. It's weird to say, but I have them starting 2-0. It is weird to say. I get it. All right, this is where things get extremely rocky, okay? And listen, I'm not one to really just try to push for wins here. You guys are going to be very disappointed if you guys are going to think I'm going to come on here and give us an 11-12 win season. Absolutely not. So week 3, if you look at the schedule, week 3 through 8, it is brutal. All right, you got the Cleveland Browns, who are a much better team than people give them credit for. The Dallas Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks, we faced them in the past 2 years, and we've been squashed by them twice. Cincinnati, and then the Eagles, and then the Steelers. We don't really know what the Steelers are going to be as of right now with Russell Wilson starting, and that team is looking a little bit different, but they completely just dedicated the draft to their offensive line, so just best believe Russell Wilson is going to be held upright. So, listen, I'm sorry. You guys are going to hate me for this. I think we go on a huge losing streak here. I think we lose to Cleveland. I think we lose to the Cowboys. We lose to the Seahawks. We lose to the Bengals. And we lose to the Eagles. And we lose to the Steelers. So where does that put us at? 2-6. I think the Giants pick it back up against Washington. I believe we will beat Washington twice this year again. I know that Washington looks a lot better on paper. I know they do. So I'm still gonna say we sweep them this year again. So that puts us at 3 wins so far. Then we go to Germany. I hate these international games, man. Then we go to Germany and we face the Carolina Panthers. It's gonna be a 9:30 a.m. game, and I'm gonna say that we beat the Panthers as well. So that's gonna be our 4th win. Obviously, 2 of them coming from Washington. Then we head into the bye, and we come out the bye. This game, I think I'm going to, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you know what? I'm going to say the Giants win against the Buccaneers as well. If there's a team that I think that could surprisingly lose to us, I think it could be the Buccaneers. They are like almost in a rebuild, right? They are a playoff team that went far in the playoffs, but they've lost a lot of pieces. And I think they're in a little bit of an sort of a twilight zone right now, where they're they're in a gray area. That I don't think Tampa is going to be a fantastic team this year. I think they're going to surprise some teams, but I also think they could lose to a team like us. So off the bye and playing at home, I'm going to say that the Giants beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll be our 5th win for the season so far. Then we face the Cowboys. listen, I haven't seen anything from the Giants that tells me that we are going to split with the Cowboys or the Eagles this year. So, unfortunately, the only wins I'm going to have to give the Giants in the NFC East, again, is the Washington Commanders. Dallas, we're losing to. The Saints last year absolutely pummeled us. Okay? They destroyed us last year. I have no reason to think that we're going to come out the gate this year and just beat them. They destroyed us last year. The score was not indicative of how bad they beat us last year. So, I'm going to say the Saints beat us again. The Ravens, I think they're a Super Bowl contender team. They are looking like one of the best rosters in the NFL right now. I'm going to say they whoop us. Atlanta, I'm going to say man, it's hard to say. It is hard to say. You know, I have to say we lose against Atlanta. I think I had us getting the win against Atlanta, but thinking about it more, I think we lose against Atlanta. That team did a very well. Well, actually, I don't even think they did that well in the draft. Okay, let's be clear about one thing here. I don't think they did that well in the draft, but they look like a better team. And adding in Kirk Cousins, I think that's a big W for them. I think that's a big upgrade for them. So I'm going to say that, Kirk Cousins heats up towards the end of the season, and he takes on the Giants and beats them. The Indianapolis Colts, they are a young, talented team. I think towards the end of the season, you're going to see younger, talented teams kind of slow down a bit as teams start to figure them out. I'm going to say the Giants beat them in Week 17. And then Week 18 will all depend on if the Eagles are benching their starters or not, depending on where they're at in the season. But if it's just first string versus first string, I'm going to say the Eagles win. So that means I have the Giants going 6-11 this year. I know that, we are coming off a 6-11 year and a year that went absolutely terrible. We had, 3 quarterbacks get hurt at a certain points of time, right? All 3 quarterbacks have been hurt in certain points of time. And, the Andrew Thomas going down for so long. We had Saquon Barkley injury problems as well. And things just didn't go right, and we still went 6-11. It's hard to believe that we'll still go 6-11 with slight upgrades, but you guys saw the graphic. I don't think the Giants are much better of a team than we were last year, and on top of that, we have a much tougher schedule this year. I think things just balance out, and we just remain a 6-11 team. All right, so what do you guys think the Giants' record is going to be this year? What do you think about their jerseys, and what do you think about them being on Hard Knocks? That is all the news I had for you guys. Let's see what happens in the next coming weeks, what kind of videos I make. I'm working on a couple of other stuff, a couple of short documentary ideas. But that being said, guys, subscribe to the NFC East Roundtable. Subscribe to this channel, like the video, comment, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Woo!